Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank your subscribers. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you all being real nice. And some of you been using bad words. And I'm not going to mention any names. And you use any bad words in your chat, it's a 24-hour timeout. You know who you are. And this is a peachy channel. No cussing, no sexual harassment. Everybody behave yourself. You know, 'cause there is children on here with their parents and their guardian. There's ladies on here. And the ladies don't want to hear anything, that they don't like. And I appreciate your ladies that's on here. I appreciate you all very much. You know, I appreciate everybody. Sorry I wasn't on here last night. Didn't feel good. Plus I had some company. At lunchtime, I had some dressing and mashed potatoes and all that for lunch. She's a heck of a good cook, so I appreciate what she did. She left, went home. She let me know that she's home. You know, we didn't spend the night, but we talked. She's in her 30s. You know, so we try to do everything. You know, people. That's one thing I want to gripe about. JC Store, Kroger's, or whatever who they are. When my son called them and checked on the medicine, they said there's one that be ready Saturday. Well, we got it at the JC store there in Charlestown, Indiana, Saturday. Guess what? The pharmacy was closed, and he needed his pain medicine. It's always been ready on Friday. There's Alexi, people. Hello, Carter. And that means we have to go another day. You know, what's wrong with the JC store in Charlestown, Indiana pharmacy? You know, they told us, come Saturday and he can pick his medicine up. I don't like drugstores. Hello, yes, welcome, my friend. You know, Carter, that's what I don't like. You need your medicine. They decide to close for the day. Why did they tell my son Friday if they be closed Saturday? Why did they tell him the medicine be ready Saturday? You know, I hate pharmacies like that. That's how Walgreens is. They don't have enough pharmacies. That's what makes me mad, people, especially Walgreens. And people, I want you to check. Your doctor write you a 90-day prescription if your insurance allows it. It's cheaper if you get 90 days. That's 3 months. Well, I'm a Christian. I support our religion, and especially Walgreens. The one in Charlestown, one Walgreens does what the rest of them. And I have 90-day supply of certain medicine. They give me 30 days supply. Why is it? I tell you why. They don't make no money on a 90-day supply. They make more off of the 30-day supply and they do 90. To me, they stealing from Medicaid and Medicare. You know, I don't see how they put up with crap like that. So when they screwed me, people, I went to another drugstore and I did not appreciate what Walgreens done to me and how they screwing the government. The only thing they will not feel for 90 days is your controlled substance. Your pain medicine. That's only 30 days at a time. I can see that. They was charging me for aspirin that the doctors ordered. They made me pay for it. I found out when I switched over to another drugstore, I checked with another drugstore besides the one I'm with. I never did have to pay for my aspirin because the insurance paid for it. People, do your homework on your prescription medicine. If your doctor writes it out for 90 days and the drugstore only fills it for 30 days, now you know why. They don't make no money on a 90-day supply. They make 30 to $50 on a 30-day supply. On a 90-day supply, they only make about $20 to $25 on a 90-day supply. And I don't like people like that. It screws us and the government. If your insurance allows you to get 90-day supply of medicine, I would go with it because it saves on your insurance. No, that's what, Hi, Margaret. Well, this morning, let's see, this morning when I went out and feed the cats, Kelly and her babies was in the box. When I went out for supper time, she moved she moved her baby. That made me mad, and I just don't like it. And another thing, people, I've been watching videos. You heard me talk about it. It's Gentle Bikers is the video YouTube channel. You know, Hell's Angels. When I was growing up, Hell's Angels was bad people, but they help people now. Hell's Angels started out that the veterans, you can research it, like the Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force, Coast Guard, started the Hell's Angels. And I like those videos. You know, I made an honorary member of one motorcycle gang. I can't remember. I don't know if it's the Iron Horseman or who they was. In this one video, it's a good story. And this girl, the little girl, maybe 5 to 12, 13 years old, somewhere in that age group, she was at deaf mute. She used sign language thanks to this Hell's Angel. He had a daughter who was deaf mute. She taught him sign language. You know, she taught them sign language. And he got on a cell phone, called his other Hell's Angels, found out the guy that kidnapped this young girl was in child trafficking young kids. And the Hell's Angels in this video, they started a class, even at school, police department, what they call the ASL. That's sign language for deaf people. Thanks to Hell's Angels stop this child trafficker, they returned with the FBI's help and other police departments. They helped rescue a bunch of kids because this child trafficker had all the contacts in his phone. Then the FBI searched the guy's house and found a whole lot more paperwork. And I like all motorcycle gangs. Hell's Angel, Orange Horseman, they're all good people. The ones I know. I was a friend with this one motorcycle. I think it's the Orange Horseman. They was in New Albany, Indiana. And he drove race cars. His name was Mark. Mark Morrow. I know his last name started with an M. And he was a good friend of mine back there then. And I don't know what happened to Mark. And he's good. But that's what respect would do, people. I want you to respect all people. Don't judge a book by its cover. And also, I want to say thank all the nurses. I want you all, you see a nurse, thank them for their service. You all please do that. And I appreciate what you all do on my YouTube channel. Thank you, Bentley, for being on here tonight. People, I'm in my 70s. I'm bored. And, well, you only got 22 subscribers, Bentley. I just gave you another subscriber. I want you all to show respect to people. Be polite. Be nice. Courtesy. Be nice. Respect goes a long way. Thank you for the hearts and the smiley faces. I want you all to be nice to people. I know some of you don't like the cops. There's some I like, there's some I hate, some I like to smack. But you respect police officers. You respect people. No matter what color their skins are. You get paid back people you being nice to. Just like you younger people. You go to a grocery store or Walmart or the mall or wherever you go. You see people my age. And you be polite. And you see an old couple, a man or woman or whatever. You tell them, hello, young man. Hello, young lady. You make them feel good. And I had this one old lady. She might be my age or maybe older. I said, hello, young lady. She had a big smile. Her head got big. She came up and gave me a big hug. I about fell over. And she said, thank you. I said, that's how my dad raised me. Be polite to people. When I was young, I wasn't an angel. I was a devil when I was young, just like most of your younger people. You're troublemakers. You this and that. You drink alcohol. You do drugs. Change your ways and be nice, 'cause it'll pay you in the long run to be nice to people. And also, don't abuse anybody. No bully. Because you're going to bully somebody one day. They're going to get a gun or a knife or a club. They're going to kill you. So stop being a bully. Please stop. Because God created us all equal. And you treat people nice, they'll treat you nice. You younger people, where you live, you got old people probably next door to you or down the street. Check on them. If the grass gets too tall and they say they cut it every week, I would just call the police and do a welfare check on them. Cause they could fall down, broke their leg, can't get to a telephone. Just think about it. Help your neighbors out, no matter where you are on this planet. You know, because God will appreciate you all helping people. The only visitors I had on the porch tonight was two raccoons. One must be the mommy, and probably her baby. She chased the baby away, so I chased the older raccoon away, and the baby came back. I hate raccoons. You know, if you like to learn about raccoons, there's a YouTube channel up in Canada. They call it the Raccoon Whisperer. James Blackwood, I think. He feeds raccoons. He feed them when they was little. They came daddy to mommy, grandma, grandpa, great grandparent. He knows every one of those raccoons by name. He's a retired, what do you call them in Canada? Mountie, police officer. He's retired. He feeds those raccoons hot dogs, cookies, cat food, marshmallows. And during the wintertime, they hibernate. He feeds the deer and probably mooses and whatever kind of animals is there where he lives in Canada. I think it's Nova Scotia, Canada, where the raccoon whisperer lives. You know, if you like raccoons, and those raccoons are pretty nice. So Jim and his wife sits out there and feed those raccoons cookies and hot dogs. Hot dogs in Canada must be cheap. He does this 7 days a week. He has two kitty cats in his house. They're cute kitty cats. And James, he lost his first wife and married this other lady. I believe she's a Canadian citizen now. I don't know what it takes to be a Canadian citizen. And you people here in Indiana, starting the day between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. on I-65 between the 16-mile marker and I think the 27-mile marker, which goes into Scott County. North north and southbound lanes. One lane's going to be closed in each direction, northbound and southbound. It's supposed to start today. I look out. I haven't seen him out there on the west side of my property. But if they start at the 16-mile marker, that is Memphis, Indiana, where the truck stops are. They're probably starting there and work their way north and south. And I don't see nothing on the sort of southbound lane. They would start probably at the 27-mile marker and come south. I don't know why they doing it at night. You know, they're gonna go from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, 3 on each side. And I don't see how they can see that good at nighttime. Especially they're going to widen the road from 2 to 3 lanes on both sides. And the way it looked when I walk up there, they can't do it on the right. That means they have to do it next to the passing lane. And but what I like to see at the overpass, let's see, it's 23.5-mile marker. I think it's one of these. They got an overpass. It'd be nice if they had an exit ramp to get off and a ramp to get on. Make it for local traffic only. It'd be better for emergency vehicles and the people that lives around the 23.5, for local, that'd be good. But will Indiana NDOT do that? Probably won't, because there's no 18 wheelers. Hello, Festus. So there's no 18 wheelers allowed on country roads. They got signs up. Say if there's a wreck there in Scottsburg, and if they can get off, say the southbound, if they can get off, they come up the ramp, take a left, come through town on 56 and take 31 south, maybe to Henryville, which is the 19, or the 16-mile marker to get back on 65. And if there's a wreck around that 16 to 19-mile marker, they would get off at the Memphis exit, which is the 16-mile marker. You know, but the stupid governor of Indiana, I don't know if they're talking about in your state, but the governor here in Indiana, thinking about it. That means tax dollars will go up for homeowners. They want to make I-65 and any interstate in Indiana, they want to make it a toll road where you pay toll roads to drive the interstate, like 65, 69, up and your 265, 465 here in Indiana. You know what that means, people? That means they're going to come down state highways. Like about 1,000 feet or so, kind of east of my house, is Highway 31. That means there'll be more traffic on Highway 31. Just think about it, people. This is what Indiana wants to do. Make all interstate here in Indiana a toll road. I disagree with the governor. He's a Republican. And I didn't vote for the a-hole. Hello, Festus. You're a young man, too. And I disagree with it. And I'm going to warn you people. I'm going to warn you all. No cuss words in the chat. And if you do, and I'm on here, you're going to get a 24-hour timeout. No sexual harassment, no hate crimes, no gay stuff. That's automatically 24 hours timeout. It took a couple of people in Kentucky. It took him 5 timeouts at 24 hours to get back on here. They've been on here a few times. But they learned after 5 or 6 times to not to argue. I don't put up with this crap on my YouTube channel. I don't allow no cussing. I don't allow no hate crimes. The reason no cussing, no hate crimes, no sexual harassment like it, because I got ladies on here. They don't want to hear it. I got children with their parents and their guardian on here. They don't want to hear it. And I appreciate your parents and the guardian is sitting there with their kids watching this channel. God bless you. And your children, you're our future. You're your mom and dad's future. Your grandma and grandpa's future. Your aunts and uncles' future. And the other day, Thursday or Friday, when I was out last, diesel fuel in Scott County, Indiana was over $5 a gallon. Gasoline was 3.90 something a gallon. That's not like President Trump let that gas get that high. When he was in office the first time, gasoline was about $1.75 to $1.80 a gallon. Diesel fuel was around $2 a gallon. Now it's over $5 a gallon for diesel fuel, almost $4 a gallon for gasoline. That's how come our grocery bills are so high. Anything you people need to buy, like clothes, food, computers, cell phones, stuff like that. Why are they so high? It gets transported by 18 wheelers, and they have to pass the diesel prices on to us. That's how come our groceries is so high. Our computers, cell phone, dishwasher, ice boxes, wood to build a house, concrete. Hello, Alexi. Now it's time for Alexi to take a cold shower. I got about four cats that's doing a hoochie coochie dance. Only one ain't doing it is Wildcat. Knock on wood. Alex is back here sleeping. I got Alex's baby. That's Alex's baby, Alexi. She's the youngest female cat I got in the house. The oldest female cat I got is Margaret. It's the mother of Alexi and Kathy. Next is Wildcat. Wildcat and Margaret came about a week apart, so they're probably about the same age. Probably 8 years old, I would say Margaret and Wildcat is. So people love your animals. I don't care if you got a dog or cat, whatever you got. Pay attention to them. They know when something's bad in the house. They know when you feel bad. They might scratch on the door, maybe, or at the door, or a plug in your house. They can smell and sense things that we cannot detect. A smoke detector or a carbon dioxide detector. They 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 know. So pay attention to your animals. They let you know when something's bad. If you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, your animals knows there's something wrong. Pay attention to it. Even if you got kids, your animals know there's something wrong with your kids. They know it. So pay attention to your animals. Like, ladies, I saw this one YouTube video. She was getting ready to take it to the dog pound. It kept jumping on it, putting the dog's nose up here. And finally, she decided to go to the doctor. Glad this lady went to the doctor. She had cancer, and they caught it in time. And she is free of cancer now, thanks to that dog. So pay attention to your animals. Say, you got your daughter living at your house and her boyfriend, like this one lady I know. They got a cat. Everything was okay until the daughter got pregnant. When she got pregnant, their cat kind of went bananas. It always used the cat box. It went to the door and used the bathroom right there at the door. She told me about her cat. Okay, that means I told her, I said, I'm not a cat whisperer or anything like that, but I've been around cats since I'm 71 plus years old. Something changed in that house. I said, what you told me your daughter's pregnant. That means you and your daughter and her boyfriend is paying more attention to her than you are as a cat. Well, what you do, tell your daughter to put the kitty cat up by her belly. Let the kitty cat know that, your big sister is going to have a baby. And pay attention to the kitty cat. And she started doing that. They paid more attention, and the cat went back to her good old self. That was the problem with this cat. But every animal is different, people. You know, animals is just like us. We change in our behavior. We act strange. Our cats and our dogs that we got in the house, they know something's changed, and they're gonna let you know. You just sit down and say, what's changed since the cat or the dog, what kind of pet you got? What's changed to make the dog or cat act different? And just think about it. Just like this pregnant girl and the mother, when they start letting the cat up there, explain it to the cat will lay up by the daughter's belly. And, you know, you can't leave your animals out of it if you're pregnant or you might have breast cancer. Animals can tell. No, I'm not a veterinarian. I'm just going with my 71 plus year experience with dogs and cats. So just think about it, people. Pay attention. There's a reason your animals is acting strange. They might bark at a closet door or an electric plug in your house or your TV or your kitchen stove or ice box. They're letting you know there's something wrong. So trust your animals. I trust mine. About 6 months or so, you can go back and look at the videos. I think it's 6 months or maybe 7 months ago. I fell off of my porch on the Sunday. I fell 4 feet backwards. The doctor says I was lucky when I went to the hospital. I said, yes, I was lucky. And I had my faith in the God. I could have broke my back, my hip, a concussion, arm. I could have broke a lot. I think I have my faith in the God and God spared me. But that night when I went to bed, all 5 kitty cats was in here on the bed. Some slept here, some slept up by my head or by my waist. They was keeping an eye on me. And I know there's a whole lot of pet lovers, kitty cats and doggies or whatever kind of pet you got. They know when you feel bad. I got to sit up and see. Hello, kids. Welcome from India. I hope you are a subscriber, and that way you can catch all my videos. Help me get my watch hours up. India is a nice country. Only one I've seen on video. Because I know on TV, on the news, they don't show every country or what's going on in India unless it's some kind of war. I know some countries won't let you do videos of certain parts of your country. And thank you from India. And I don't know if you got any videos, but to support your country, if it's allowed, say if somebody from another country wants to come over to India or Germany or Canada, or wherever, do a video, let us know the places to visit in your country. I know some countries won't allow you to do certain things on your Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, X, or whatever. You know, that helps your country out. I love watching people from Russia. And there's this one song from Russia. Was it Kate Kasa or something? It's kind of like a love story down by the river talking about apples and oranges. I did find an English version of it. There's videos of it on YouTube. It starts out with a young girl singing that song in a Russian uniform. And over the years, it showed her older teenager, adult, singing the same song. I love listening to that song at night when I go to sleep. Every country got their bad things and the good things. But India got some good things and some bad things, like here in the United States. We got good and bad things here in the United States, just like your country. Well, they just knocked the cup off of the bathroom sink to the floor. It must be Alexa, because she likes to climb in the bathroom. If I remember, Durham is a, a band, if I remember right. And just You need to put you some YouTube videos up. Let you know what the time here where I'm at in southern Indiana is 10:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in southern Indiana. That's the time here where I'm at. I think all countries that comes in here. You been a bad girl? You knocking cups on the floor to make me pick it up knowing how bad my back is? Alexi, you hear your human daddy? You being a bad girl. It don't do any good to spank her. Cause she wants to get a husband. If you all know things about animals. Grandma is down there sleeping. Her mother's back there. This is Lexi's mother, Alex. Grandma is Margaret. I was hoping Kelly would bring her babies back, put them back in the box. She could move them in the cubby hole between the porch and the wall, because that's where she was born a year ago. That's where she could have moved her baby, because her baby was a week old Friday. And they're going to start moving around more. If I remember right, kitty cats open their eyes when they're a week old. She probably got them down in the cubby hole. I don't see no traffic slowing down out there on I-65 because I can sit here and look at the west side kitchen window. Nobody's slowing down, so they must be working. If they did start today, the text I got said they supposed to start today at 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning. They supposed to start at the 16-mile marker and go all the way to, I think, the 27, 29-mile marker, I think, which is in Scott County. Because the 23.5 is the county line, and they're not out there doing it. I love kitty cats, and you people got kitty cats. I know you all use cat litter, and you really got to clean the cat boxes out because of the smell. I'll tell you a little secret that I found on YouTube that if you got a tractor supply, if you got a tractor supply in your neighborhood, they call them horse pellets. They're pine scented. It also is made for bedding of horses. If you got a regular sized cat box, get one of those large cups from a fast food restaurant. Put you about 2 cups of those horse pellets in. And maybe sprinkle you about a half cup of cat litter in it until your kitty cat gets used to it. It turns into sawdust. You can use that stuff to put in your flower bed. That's what I use, people. I use those horse pellets for cat litter. It's about $5 a bag. That's what it here is where I live. And now I got moles in here, but they're sitting in the background until someone screws up. My grandson from Canada, he's probably busy. And the ladies I got, they're probably just sitting in the background until somebody screws up. They just sit back there and be quiet until someone screws up. Some of them chat, some of them just sit in the background. As I told you the other night, people, don't ask to be a moderator. It just turns me off. I look at your YouTube channel. I look at your chat. I see how you run your YouTube channel. And that's what I go by. Your YouTube channel and your chat. And I see how you run your YouTube channel before I make you a mod. I made a mistake once. The person asked me the same thing. I I know what you're talking about, Festus. They could be working or taking a vacation day. This is Sunday, and school is out for the weekend. I want them, and, and I want my mods to spend time with the grandkids and the kids. That's more important. You know, I appreciate what my mod does. And I got a lady from Kentucky. She been a mod maybe 2 or 3 weeks, something like it. I watch her videos. And I had a bad moderator. And that idiot was a computer hacker. And lucky people, the FBI is on my YouTube channel, the same as the U.S. Marshals and other police departments here on the YouTube channel. But this person that I made a moderator was a computer hacker that the FBI had been hunting for a long time. And I made screenshots of all his different names he was using, all the different emails that this computer hacker used, and sent to the FBI. And I'm not going to tell you who they are because it's none of your business or my business. They got a job to do. Hello, RM. I see you on break time. Thank you for taking your break, and also thank you for your service. As I explained at the first part of the video, in the middle, and at the end before I get off, people, thank a nurse for their service. You got, it takes, I know I have heard this before, and I appreciate the job an RN does at his job, because RM is a nurse in the hospital in Canada in the ER. He works trauma care, ICU, all the places in the hospital. To me, nurses is the first line of defense before the doctor sees you. They take your temperature, your blood pressure, take your blood. They put everything down on paper or computer, however they do that now. Then the doctor will come in and see you. Nurses in the hospital checks on you all day and all night. Then the doctor looks at their report of their patient. So they don't get paid like a doctor does, but I think they should get paid like a doctor. But they're the first line of defense. Your LP and your nurse practitioner. They're the first line of defense. No matter where you are on this planet, thank a nurse for their service. They don't get it enough. And my IQ is around 62 to 63. What 20 psychiatrists told me years ago. There's things that I'm smart in, there's things that I'm dumb in, or I can't comprehend it. My IQ, like I say, around 62 to 64 on the point system, which is on the borderline. You know, I don't care what your IQ is. I don't care if you're slow or smart or in the middle. I don't care what your age is. Make sure you follow my rules and show respect. You respect people no matter what country you're in or what state you're in. Respect people. Be polite to people. Be respectful to people. Be courteous to people. I tell people I'm not a nurse, doctor, lawyer, or anything like that. You know, if you're in the hospital, you think you're gonna get a vacation and sleep, and the nurse comes in, wakes you up. I asked the nurse that back in 2017 when I had my heart attack. I said, "Why do you wake me up or other patients up when we sleep?" And the nurses, I've asked them all three shifts. I said, "Why do you wake us up?" I said, "Well, if we take your blood pressure, we might get a person that'll smack you. That's why they wake you up to take your blood pressure. Unless you're in a coma, then they know you're not going to wake up. But, you know, nurses got it hard in the hospital, putting up with us. I like women nurses better than I do men nurses. Because those women nurses are real good looking. I look at them, I flirt with them, talk to them. It makes me want to live longer. And probably the same thing with the ladies who's patient. They look at the male nurses. Oh, they better look than my husband or my boyfriend. That makes them want to live longer. And I appreciate your nurses anywhere on the planet, no matter what country you're from. Thank you for your service. And RM, he probably went back to work and he probably only get a 10-minute break. Just step in and say hi to check in. But, he's a nurse in a hospital in Canada. Since it snows more in Canada, I've asked him, like it happens around here where I live. Does the hospital let the doctors, the nurses, hospital personnel stay at the hospital when the roads are so bad where you can't drive? And he said yes. I didn't know that about Canada. I know how it is around here. It takes a whole lot of special people that work at a hospital. You got your cooks, you got your janitors, you got your technician that does x-rays and that does the blood work. Those very special people. Give them a big hand for the great job they do at the hospitals. Your EMTs, your paramedics, and your doctors. Thank them too. What are you doing, Alexi? You're not going to get a husband. You can forget about it. To me, you're still a baby and too young to have baby kitty cats. Your grandma might teach you how to be a good mama, but there'd be no more baby kitty cats in this house. That's out. I had one mama cat keep picking her baby up and put her in the cat box. It uses a few times. When they get right next to the cat box and use the bathroom right there next to it instead of getting in the cat box. I have rubbed that kitty cat nose I don't know how many times. Come on, get down. Come on, get down. Get down. You knocked my Pepsi Zero off, and are you gonna piss? Get out! I'm tired of you. Go take a cold shower. Do like your mommy and your grandma. Lay down and go to sleep. This goes on all night, people. You got dogs or cats that's in heat. They drive you bananas. I hate it, but I ain't got a couple of grand to take him to a veterinarian. I know, Foxy Lady, you can get a voucher to do that. But I've done that once. First, I had to go to Louisville, Kentucky with all the cats. And they gave them all the shots. Then I had to go to Georgetown, the veterinarian, at 7 o'clock in the morning. Come back home and go back at 12 o'clock and pick them up. I love my animals. I can cut this out if I had the money to take them to vets and have my inside cats fixed. Remember, people, I got 5 inside female cats. You looking at, I'm guessing $200 each. I'm just guessing. They get their shots. They get fixed. And I just don't have the money. I can hear my ex-wife now. Quit asking for money, you idiot. I'm just telling you my story. I know you all got the same story. Some of you got money. Some of you in the same boat I am. You can't help out. But you ones that got money, God help you get where you at. God can take it away from you just as fast as you got it. Because God wants you all to help people out. I'm sorry I can't do super chat. I don't have that many watch hours. At 500 people, you need 3,000 watch hours. And at 1,000 subscribers, you need 4,000 watch hours before you get monetized, before you can get super chats. Just think about it. There are things I like to do for my house. First, I never roof on my house. A riding lawnmower. There's a lot I like to do. I like to paint every room in my house. It takes money that I don't have or I can spare. Like next month, I gotta pay on my post office box next month. Like this month, I probably could have paid for it, but I had to get my license plates renewed. That was about $55, $60 I had to spend. I know, Festus. That's one I don't like. Lisa is a drug addict. Lost her kids, lost her place to live. She said, well, I need food, I need cigarettes, and all the people does for Lisa, it buys her more drugs. And that, to me, the people gives her money to buy drugs. Does that make him a drug dealer? I say yes. And oh, all you doing, Francis, when you send her money, she used that to buy her drugs. You know, I tell you, people, I tell you the truth. What I plan to do with my money. Uh, you people go on Tractor Supply's website, look up multiple cat food. It's a 44 pound bag of cat food, about $30. Time you add Indiana sales tax. Yeah, she's lying, Festus. You know, she's on either crack or something. Her face has changed. That shows me is on crack. She lost her children. She lost her kids. She lost the place to live because of the drug addict she is. I spend, let's see, for dry cat food, I spend about $60 to $100 a month at Tractor Supply to buy a 44 pound bag of cat food. That's $100 is equal to about 4 bags, give or take a little. 3 bags is about 90 something dollars, close to $100 for 3 bags of 44 pound bag of cat food. And if you don't believe I tell you, hello, I forget where I got it. And I tell you the truth, people, what I would use my money for. Just like I've told you, I need the money to buy me a new riding lawnmower or a zero turn. Because a zero turn is about 60 inches wide. I need to get out and cut my grass now. With the push mower, with my heart condition, I can only cut 10 minutes, and I pray to God that I don't have a heart attack or a stroke. I only cut 10 minutes, I stop, put the lawnmower away. What? Go take a cold shower and a 60-inch zero turn. I can cut my yard. I got about an acre of ground. It take me probably 15 to 20 minutes. First time on a zero turn, it'll take me probably a half hour to an hour because you go frontwards. You got to figure this out. You know, it'll take a little bit longer. And some of you could go on Facebook and go to Marketplace. They got some nice lawnmowers from what my son tells me. Because he's on Facebook, I'm not. And here's the problem. You don't know what's wrong with them. The one I bought last year from my neighbors, it lasted 3 weeks. It lasted 3 weeks until the engine blew. By getting a new one, people, it's under warranty. Anything goes wrong, the warranty will cover it. And if you got an Ace Hardware store where you live, if you want to buy a zero turn from Ace Hardware, like a hustler, you can go to your Ace Hardware store, have him check with Scott's Ace Hardware store in Scottsburg, Indiana. They have my name, address, and phone number on file at the Ace Hardware store in Scottsburg, Indiana. And they're nice people up there at Scott's Ace Hardware store in Scottsburg, Indiana. I bought a chainsaw last year, a Skill chainsaw. From day one, people, let me tell you, I had problems out of it from day one. You do what the instructions tell you to do, and I had trouble starting. But they put a new coral in it. One of you called it coral, just like they put it on the car. And still had a little problem starting it, but it tried to start. Well, a couple of weeks ago, when we had that big windstorm or tornado. They didn't say a tornado, but we had a heck of a windstorm. It took 3 trees out in front next to the county road. In my back southeast corner, I had 3 trees. I haven't started on the tree back there yet because I'm still busy working on my front yard area, which I got to cut where I can get out of the driveway. I got to take the wheelbarrow, pick up the firewood, take it over and dump it in the pile, take my brush, dump it in the burning pile. But people, I got a trailer that you can put on a zero turn or a riding lawnmower. I can put the limbs in. I can put more in that than I can the wheelbarrow. I got one of them old fashioned wheelbarrows that got one wheel. If it had two wheels, it'd be easier to push. And I was out there, I don't know, one day last week, cutting up, picking the brush, and putting some brush out here to burn this summer. And I couldn't do nothing for about, I don't know, Walmart up in Scottsburg. I don't know if they got riding lawnmowers. They must got them in a fenced-in area. But with all my income, fellow Presley Hesley, I that I got no way to transport a new lawnmower to my house. I got no extra money to buy a new lawnmower. I got so much payments, people. I can't. I can't afford another payment. I just. I don't have the extra money. If I don't get a new riding lawnmower or a zero turn this year, I expect that I'm going to have a heart attack or a stroke. 'Cause I got to cut my grass. I got no choice. And you pay somebody, you looking at $50 probably every. That's $100 a month. I don't have the extra money in my budget. I live on a budget. I got to live on my. Now, if I do that, then the cops will be knocking on my door for theft. I was thinking going to a renter center and rent one by the month, but you pay more for it. And I don't want to get in trouble with the law. I don't want to get put in the pokey. Yeah. But maybe somebody that lives here in Clark County or Scott County can help me out with a new riding lawnmower. I know the Cub Cadet makes an was it LTS or LT1 or something. It's about 48 inches. Then it's got Ace Hardware. Nope. They just took my house payment out yesterday. You know, they took my house payment out yesterday. I'm either in the red or the black. I haven't checked because I don't want to know if I'm in the black. The past 3 months I've been in the hole because of my electric bill. But when I go pay my electric bill on the, I got to turn around and look. Yeah, it'll be next Friday. I pay my electric bill. But this, like last month, February, my electric bill was over $300. And the 8 years, 7 years I live here, I've been here 8 years. The 7 years before this year, my electric bill never got over $200. This year in 2026, my electric bill was way over $300. It's never been that high. And I've asked you all in other videos, the electric company is screwing us. You got one of them smart meters. I want you all to do an experiment. You know where your breaker box is. Well, take a pen and paper, go outside, look at your electric meter, write down all the numbers that's on your electric meter. Then come back in your house, go up to your main breaker and shut it off. Shut your main breaker off. That means no electricity is coming into your house when you shut the main breaker. Give it about 5 minutes. You don't have to give it 5 minutes, but wait 5 minutes. Go out there and write the numbers down. Like I've tried that, and I use electricity with my breakers off. You tell me how that smart meter is reading electricity that I did not use since I shut the main breaker. Just think about it, people. Our electric company is stealing money from us. When I go down to pay my electric bill Friday, I'm going to complain to them. Because I know it's not going to get me anywhere. You tell me, why are you all stealing money from me and other people from your company, stealing electricity? So, oh, we're not stealing. That's what the meter reads. I said, tell me how, when you turn the main breaker off, you take the readings before you shut it off. You turn the main breaker off, wait about 5 minutes, go out there. It's changed. And it shows I'm still using electricity. You tell me how I'm using electricity when I've got my main breaker off. I'm going to see what they say. I would come back Friday if I don't forget, and I would tell you what they say. I know what RMC going to do. First thing about it, people, the temperature did not get down in the single digits this year where I live. It got down to about 28, 29, around 32 degrees. This is how our electric company is stealing from us. Just try that little experiment. If you got smart meters, take a pencil and paper, go out there and write the numbers down on your meters. I don't know, it's 1 7 numbers or 2 7 numbers. I can't remember. Come back in, turn your main breaker off, wait about 5 minutes, then go back outside. You're gonna see that meter is still counting up. You got your main breaker off. That's one thing I hate about those smart meters. They screw all of us. Duke Energy, RMC, LGE, that's Kentucky. They do the same thing. I know people in Kentucky done the same experiment that I just told you about. That's theft. Probably thousands and thousands of dollars from everybody's house and business that they steal every year from us. I'm just asking you all. I said some people it might be okay, but in my case, when I turned the main breaker off, it showed I was still using electricity. You know, your icebox, cell phone charger, your radio, your TV. It shows I was still using electricity when the main breaker was off. You electrician out there, you know what I'm talking about. I like the old meters. I don't know if they can put the old meters back in, but I'm going to complain. I'm going to tell them about my YouTube channel, and let's see what happens. Right now I got them over a barrel. See, if the long driveway, which it's a county road, county highway department said it was closed in '81. I bought this house about 8 years ago. It shows it was private at the courthouse. But I got a map from the county highway garage says it is still a county road. The state of Indiana, who keeps better records than the county does, says it's a county road. You know, if it's a county road, people, there'd be an easement for the water company, Spectrum Cable, the electric company. But since it's a private road, I got no easement to let them even come in and trim my trees. And Clark County, Indiana says I own all the way up to the guardrail. And the electric company got their tree people trimming trees. Uh, in a way, it's illegal to cut my trees on my property without my permission. You can blame Clark County making it a private road, but the map I got says it's county owned. State of Indiana says it's county owned. And I found a map online says it's county owned. But you go to the Crooked Courthouse here in Clark County, Indiana, they said it's private. When I went back down there in 2008, 17, 18, I moved here in 18, but I went down there. They could never show me when it was closed. They couldn't show me any paperwork when it was closed, vacated, or made it private. They didn't have nothing on the record. Here's the fun thing about it, people. The first 3 years that I lived here, Clark County. No, I'm hoping to get Starlink one day if Elon Musk ever get in touch with me. 'Cause I know people told him that I've been talking about Starlink on a fixed income. I don't have the $300 to $500 down up front. I don't have the $100 to $200 a month for unlimited data, which that's what I got to have. I don't care about the TV or the phone part of it. I would need a new laptop where I can really tell you the stream up and down. You know, I've seen videos that talks about Starlink. It tells you how to install it, this and that. But there's nobody that I have found on YouTube that does a video every day on Starlink. You know, it would be nice if Elon Musk would give me Starlink, unlimited data, My TV. Well, not around here. It's over $100 a month because Spectrum cable TV now is $90 a month. It goes out 3 or 4 times a month. Just like one day last week, I just got off of here in time. The internet went out. That's how Spectrum is. Which Spectrum is part of Charter and another company. It's always the East Coast. I don't know why it's always the East Coast. I kind of wish Elon Musk would do that. Well, what I've seen on the internet was $100 or more for unlimited for data. Unlimited data means you know like nothing, just like on your cell phone. You got unlimited data. That's what I got on my cell phone. Since I do live stream sometimes when I'm in my car on limited data. But I'll look into it and see, but I just ain't got the $300 up front. I just don't have the extra $300. My car insurance about 150 to $180 a month. My cell phone is about $58 a month, and a few other bills, probably about $200. You know, I like to get Starlink, but what I found on the internet is $100 or more, unless they changed it in the last month or so. But I just ain't got the $300 up front. I know they have different plans, and $40 a month don't seem to be the unlimited data. Cause my smart TV is on the Wi-Fi. Cell phone I'm using is on Wi-Fi. My son's computer and cell phone is on Wi-Fi. And you got to have unlimited data. I left word for Elon Musk. How you know if that's his channel? I left it on Starlink's YouTube video, and I guess I have to go to Starlink's on YouTube again and put it on there. You know, I just don't have the money, people. And where did I drive by? Was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday. Somewhere between Charlestown and Henryville, they had Starlink, but I can't remember where. Lay down. Go take a cold shower. And, you know, I would love to have Starlink people and do a video on it every night and do a speed test on it on live video. You know, do a video of putting it up, this and that. You know, that'd be nice. But I don't have the money. I can hear my ex-wife now. Quit asking for money. That's how she is. And some of my moderators know who she is, so if you know Elon Musk out there, you can tell him come to my YouTube channel. It has my post office box. You know, he, you know, but I would love to have Starlink people. $40, if that's true, is cheaper than Spectrum. Spectrum right now is $90 a month. And that's what that's that's what I'm looking at. $40 would be better than $90 a month. More money to spend. $50 more to spend on something else. I know the internet, if the electricity goes off in the house, then I'll lose internet service because there's no electricity to keep the box going. You know, it goes out here at least one time a month during a rainstorm, a windstorm, or it snows. It usually the lights goes out at least once or twice a month. There's nothing I can do about that. So let's see, what time is it? 11:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, people, and Southern India. He's in the bathroom. Let's see. Uncle Tommy's in the bathroom. I guess you left your door open. Who's that? Margaret. Every time somebody goes to the bathroom, all the kitty cat takes off and goes in the bathroom to see what we're doing. So, yeah, he went in there. I saw him jump down, but I figured you shut your door. Well, this one guy on YouTube got Starlink. He pays $40 a month.
Yeah, they just got a deal, but the speed is like very slow.
Cause I told him, I said, we gotta have unlimited data. It gotta be fast. And he said the 4 years he had it, he only had one outage. But here, as much as the light goes out, we got him beat on that. But you can't use the internet if the light goes out.
Unless you had a backup battery supply.
You know, but
those cost a couple $100.
and if we had solar panels, we would have to have the ice box and the heat hooked up to it. So usually it takes RMC 2 to 3 hours. We'd be all right on that, but
Well, what they wanted to do is put the solar panels in, and you could use the energy during the day, and what you didn't use would go back into the grid, and your account would be credited.
yeah, you putting what you don't use back into the grid. But the solar panels you look into didn't want
They didn't
what
want
to
you to
give
have
you the
batteries.
solar panels that what you want.
They were trying to sell all panels. See, you could buy higher wattage panels for a little bit more.
They wouldn't even talk to you about higher solar panels. They want to sell you the cheaper ones. They don't want to tell you where you put them into the batteries. You told everything that you want to do, they would do it.
Yeah, basically.
And, people, you got to be careful. Solar panels is good if you got the battery backed up. What you don't use go back into the grid. You can have your ice box, you know, fix it up where you have your whole house in and the solar panels backed up. But this one company, they try to sell you the cheapest solar panels, no battery backup, no putting it back into the grid. Cause my son does research on his computer. You know, he told me, he said, Dad, this is what you need with the batteries. This is the wattage you need to put it back in the grid to knock your electric bill back down. They just did not want to talk about. They want to sell you the cheapest low wattage solar panels on the market. And I said no.
What I wanted to do is get more electricity coming in than what you need.
But they didn't want to do that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so people, I want to thank you all that have subscribed tonight. Thank the person from India. Thank you all for being good tonight. And it's time for me to get off of here. And I appreciate your people on here. You're my YouTube family. You all the closest thing I got to a family. I really appreciate you all for being on here tonight. God bless you all. Thank you all for your support. And I thank you all very much. Will I be on here tomorrow? I just don't know. Usually I leave something in the comment if I'm not going to be on here. If it's a pretty nice day tomorrow, the temperature is up 60 to 80 degrees, I will cut my grass. And that means I won't be on the internet because my back's going to be hurt. If I had a new riding lawnmower or a new zero turn at least 60 inches, I can cut my whole yard and I'll be on a zero turn doing this. But I don't have the money. And I know my ex-wife said, stop asking for money. But if I was a female like Lisa was, the drug addict, she gets all kinds of money. I think that's sexual discrimination in my book. She can get what she wants, but I can't get what I want. And you can go into my YouTube channel and click on All About Me. You'll find my post office box. You'll find my Cash App, my PayPal account. You'll find all of it. And I want to thank you all. God wants to thank you all for being the good people you are tonight. And thank you all. God loves you all. Thank the nurse for their service. God gave you your money. I know you work for it, but God gave you the smarts to get that money. But God can take it away from you. Thank all you foxy ladies that's watching this video. I love you all. No matter you live thousands of miles from me. Nobody within 50 miles of me. God bless you. I love you all. I see you all later.